Welcome again to our Managed Services Talks. My name is Magda, and today I'm with Tomek, the CE Managed Service CTO. Hi, Tomek, nice to have you here.
Hi, Magda. Thank you for inviting me. It's great to be here.
Perfect. Tomek is responsible for embedding technology solutions into how we deliver managed services in the region and broader. Last time, with Damian, we explored how technology and AI form an integral part of our managed service operating model. Today, we are moving from vision to practice, and we are going to tell you about our journey from building AI solutions internally and implementing that for our internal purpose to creating solutions and agent-based services to our clients. Tomek, let's start with a quick warm-up question about your mission in the role of the CTO for Managed Services in the CE region.
My job and the job of my team is to figure out how to use the latest technologies that are available that we can use at PwC to ensure that our managed services are cost effective, efficient, but also delivered with high quality and accuracy of the outputs.
That's pretty impressive, Tomek. So I would like to understand and explore with you how technology is understood within managed services and how it works in practice.
So in practice, it's on one hand it's quite exciting. On the other hand, it's very demanding. So let's imagine we need to keep looking for new solutions, for new ideas. We want to be ahead of the curve and very bold and innovative. At the same time, we need to remember that we deliver production solutions that on a daily basis are used by thousands of people to deliver our services. So while staying visionary, we need to ensure they really work, they provide high quality, and at any point of time, they are available, properly maintained, and run in production.
Last time when we spoke with Damian, he talked about managed service technology stop being a project and becoming more like an operational capability. You are one of the people that is actually implementing those technology solutions. So how this transformation actually looked for us, applying it on our own operational delivery projects and services?
So totally agree. Indeed, it cannot be a project or an add-on or a side job. It's a strategic investment that we made within PwC to make sure that we implement technology that will support our long-term goals, that will be consistent, properly designed, and that will be used to deliver our services. The way we approach that is we started designing that, building up, but also testing. And we became our first client. So basically, we implemented the technology on the projects run internally because we, as PwC, have the same needs as our clients when it comes to managed services. We need to follow regulations. We need to run our finance IT functions. So we figured out okay, let's start with ourselves, do it from the perspective of clients, and then once we are comfortable with our solutions, then we can offer them externally and roll out to the market.
Nowadays, there is a lot of buzz about AI agents, AI in general. Please help us demystify the AI agents and tell us a bit more about AI agents in the context of managed services.
So AI agents, yes, the name sounds quite intriguing, and it's repeated on a very every occasion by many people. What it comes down to is agents are the next step of AI revolution or AI development after chatbots or bots that can communicate in human language. So basically, agents leverage large language models not only to communicate, to generate things for us, texts, images, videos, but they also use them to reason, plan their actions, and make decisions. And that's a big change how they work. And what it gives us in practice then when they work on managed services is, first of all, they can follow instructions, the same instructions that we write for humans, that are written in a human language, that are already in place, so we don't have to create them from scratch, that can be understood by humans, but also amended or changed by any other humans. So that's a big advantage. The second point about agents is that in a moment of uncertainty, or where they go outside of the script and they need to figure out what to do next because it's not in the instruction, or the case they are working on is non-standard, they can try to figure that out on their own. Of course, not 100% successful, but even humans from time to time need to consult. But still, they can try to figure that out and move forward. And just to give you an example, let's say an agent helps us to process user tickets in so-called application evolution services. That's a service where we help our clients to maintain their technology solutions, but also to process changes or queries that they might have. The agent will not only pick up a request from the user, it will analyze it, figure out what is it about. Based on that, it can autonomously read available instructions and figure out, okay, so what should be the next course of action? Is there any information missing in the ticket already? Should I ask the user follow-up questions to have more information to base on? And then taking all of that into account, it will plan its action. So it can run additional research, it can access multiple internal systems, it can even do research in manuals, handbooks, or on the web. So it will perform many actions to move the tasks and come up with a way to address it. At the end of that, if it's sure how to proceed, it can proceed. There can be a step of verification with a human, whether that's the right course of action. But the agents will do it autonomously and then hand over to human. Of course, as always, ultimately, there should be a human that will be ultimately responsible for what we deliver. So someone will review that and approve the action.
You mentioned that agents follow procedures just like humans. So, can we actually trust that they are doing it right? And what in the situations when actually they are not following it to the latter?
So that's a big question and a big challenge of using agents. How to balance giving them autonomy to make sure that they can really proceed on their own, while ensuring that what they do is kept within certain limits and they don't go beyond that and they don't come up with crazy ideas. We all know the case from the market where an agent decided to delete all the files from the hard drive, right? So we cannot allow it to happen. So there is a number of ways how can we ensure that. First of all, as part from the technical perspective, as part of any agents, what is coded inside the prompts and the technical solution is so-called guardrails that set some boundaries for the agent, what can be done, what cannot be done. That's the first step. Then whatever is done by agents, they will keep the audit trail, they will log their actions, just to make sure that it's not a black box. So we know what really happened, why that happened, what was the reasoning behind. In particular, when we work on regulatory services, where we need to be certain about the actions that we took, we need to know why they happened. It all has to be logged. Also, as part of agentic solution, we usually implement so-called quality review or secondary agents that look at the same problem from another perspective and verify if the course of actions, the plan set by initial agents, if this is correct and it can be moved forward. And as I said before, At the end of that, ultimately, it's the human taking responsibility of what's happening. So similarly to processes run fully by humans, at the end of that, we have a rigorous quality check performed according to our quality framework, just to make sure that the outcome of agentic work is fully up to standard and it can be relied on.
So agents are getting more autonomy, but with that comes more responsibility. Can you tell us about responsible AI? How does it look like? And what about more regulated industries where, for example, we need to handle client data very carefully?
So yes, responsible AI is a set of practices that ensure that we use AI in the right way, that it's controlled, and that we take responsibility for the outputs of what is produced by AI. It can consist of all the quality measures that I talked about, but also it makes sure that what we produced can be what is produced also using contribution of AI, that it's acceptable to regulators, that we are comfortable with what's happening, it's under control, and we can take responsibility for the end product.
We see this agentic revolution everywhere. So, with that, maybe a controversial question a bit: will AI take our job?
So for sure, AI will not take our jobs. We are safe, but it will change them a lot. And it's not going to be one change. It will keep changing them for a very long time. And as with any other change, some people will perceive it as a threat, while others will see it as a great opportunity and they will enjoy it. And I think that's the best approach to enjoy it. Look at the positive side. It will give us a lot. So it will free up our capacity to look for tasks or for objectives that are more value adding, where we can interact more with clients, work more with humans, focus on the value, and where we can use our skills the most. And last but not least, I think it will also give us more free time because we will be able to delegate more and more towards agents. From the broad market perspective, I think also it will help to boost up our economies, because we'll free up so much talent and capacity of people that can be used in a more creative and more human-centered way.
That's a promising vision for sure. So, definitely, what we need to do is to adapt and build some new skills and competencies. So, how this employee of tomorrow should look like? How in managed services we should build the skills and competencies, and what to focus on?
I think there is no one skill set that will be a proven skill set of the future. So a couple of years ago, everyone kept repeating, yes, you should learn, everyone should learn how to code because that will be the skill of the future. Right now we are saying, coding will not be needed soon because AI will perform that. So it will keep changing and it will evolve. I think what will be important for everyone going forward is to stay open-minded, to be open to change, to learn new things, and also have a broad perspective on the world. So connect the dots across different domains and different specializations. What's more, I think, especially in the managed service field, is that focus on the client. So that never goes out of fashion. If you focus on the other human, if you do your best to work well with humans, that will be the skill of the future.
Thank you so much for this conversation, Tomek. AI agents are here. They are part of the team, and it's key to take the responsibility on how those agents work. So people lead, and agents and technologies are there to help us scale, and that is embedded in those new alternative delivery models like managed services. In the next video, we are going to explore what it takes to deploy an AI agent. We are going to talk about the prerequisites required on the client side to deploy and work with the agents, and also share a live scenario from a real case where it was implemented. Tomek, thank you so much for this conversation. It's super exciting vision and also practice. I can really feel that this journey is here to stay and evolve more. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.